a significant portion of the people believe that they grew up in a perfect household with perfect parents, and the 10 things I just listed, they would not even think twice as to any of those being a problem. They grew up with perfectly imperfect parents, and those perfectly imperfect moments, whether you recognize it or not, have created long-lasting hurt, pain, and trauma that has been replaying throughout your life. And so this video is for those people, primarily about 80% of the population, who feels they grew up in a perfect childhood and nothing from their childhood is affecting them. Sadly, that's not the case. Number one, not apologizing to you when they make a mistake that hurts you. Number two, focusing on your smallest imperfections, just simple childlike mistakes, and being highly critical of you. Number three, constantly protecting you from danger or any problem, or the opposite, constantly micromanaging you. Number four, showing up late to your school events, or not even showing up at all. Number five, a lack of basic physical and verbal affection and not taking the time to play with you. Number six, being told to stop crying or just get over it. In other words, anything where your feelings might have been minimized or mischaracterized. Number seven, physically punish you, like spanking or any type of physical punishment. Number eight, being too busy with their own work or their own hobbies or their own interests. The classic, hey mom, can you come do this? And it's, I can't right now, I'm too busy. Number nine, being chronically sick or having addiction issues. And number 10, parents arguing in front of you or getting a divorce. Now, a significant portion of the people believe that they grew up in a perfect household with perfect parents, and the 10 things I just listed, they would not even think twice as to any of those being a problem. They grew up with perfectly imperfect parents, and those perfectly imperfect moments, whether you recognize it or not, have created long-lasting hurt, pain, and trauma that has been replaying throughout your life. And so this video is for those people, primarily about 80% of the population, who feels they grew up in a perfect childhood and nothing from their childhood is affecting them. Sadly, that's not the case. So I provided you with just 10 simple little things that, again, are like, that's nothing. And I'm going to show you how they are so big and dive deeper into slowly bringing you into truth and reality very subtly, not to disparage your parents, not to say that there weren't amazing, perfect moments where they were the best parents on the planet, but also to show you they were human. They were perfectly imperfect. And unless you get into truth and reality that those moments are drastically affecting you in every area of your life, that's the reason why the parts of your life aren't working. So let's get into it with kind of an old story to kind of demonstrate why this is so important. And the story goes something like this, where there's a person who's on a vacation in a glorious cabin setting in the mountains, in the woods. It's just the perfect morning, a cool chill in the air. You can hear the creek running by as you step out onto the covered part of the patio outside the cabin, your favorite drink to have in the morning. And you hear a soft little breeze and you have your wool sweater on. It's just perfectly relaxing. And every morning you get up, you sit in your comfortable chair, you look out over the tremendous view in the water, and there, sitting on the bank, is a bag of garbage. Now, everything is so beautiful, you're mildly annoyed, but you get up and you grab that garbage and you remove it and go back to your perfect view. But the next day, you get up and there it is again, another new bag of garbage. And so again, it seems small and insignificant. And this is what happens to people who think they grew up in a perfect childhood. All the little troubles in their life are like that bag of garbage. And they view their childhood like, hey, it's this perfect setting, but every once in a while there's a little bag of garbage. Well, what people don't realize, and the problem for people who are stuck in this belief system that their childhood was perfect, is they're never dealing with the source of the problem. The source of the problem isn't the bag of garbage on the bank. It's where it came from. It started way upstream. And so just pulling the garbage out doesn't fix the problem. You have to go to the source of the problem. And the source of the problem is your childhood and your perfectly imperfect parenting that you experienced. Those moments where your parents were human and they hurt you. And it's depositing bags of garbage throughout your life. So dealing with the garbage isn't the solution. Dealing with the source of it, perfectly imperfect childhood, and getting into truth about that is the solution. So I'm going to give you a simple 3-step process so you can start identifying what's creating the bag of garbage in your life. And it's very simple and straightforward. All I want you to do is whatever life situation comes up that's annoying, hurtful, sad, scary, frustrating, any type of negative emotion. Because remember, childhood trauma isn't severe stuff. I mean, it is, the stuff we all think of. But what people who grew up in what they think is a perfect childhood don't recognize is childhood trauma is any event that created a negative emotional reaction for the child. Well, we've had thousands of those as children. And so this little exercise is going to help you start to see what's depositing the bags of garbage in your life and how they all started in childhood. So here's what I want you to do is think about any moment where you're sad, frustrated, or angry. Bring that moment up and ask yourself, where in my body do I feel that? Now, we store all emotional trauma in our body. So it might be in your head, your stomach, your shoulders, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then ask yourself, what's my first memory of ever having this feeling? Now, most people their brain will immediately go to something in the recent past. That's fine, write it down. Then ask yourself, okay, what's the next moment before that? Write that down. Just keep going back. And eventually you're going to arrive at some memory between 2 and 8 years old of the first time you felt sad, frustrated, angry, scared, shamed, belittled, whatever it may be. And you'll remember, oh my gosh, it's when mom and dad or this certain situation happened in my childhood. That's the source of your garbage. It's not what's right in front of you, it's what's in your past. And so that's what we ultimately need to address, is the source. And so when we don't address it, it creates what I call the worst day cycle, which I wrote about in my first book, Your Journey to Success. And all of us, even perfect people in perfect childhoods, are stuck in the worst day cycle because that's how emotions work. They are learned processes. So every time we have an emotional reaction as an adult, all we're doing is reliving the childhood memories and placing that on this moment. So you're never really fully present when you're having an emotional reaction. Your brain is pulling from its memory because emotions contain 3 things: a simulation, a concept, and a definition. And so your brain is taking the simulation of what you're experiencing, putting it into a context, and then going, oh, well, in childhood, when mom and dad said or did this, here's what that definition is. Here's what it means. So let me give you a couple examples from my own life and how my bags of garbage showed up. When I was, maybe 10, 11 years old, I was reaching into the refrigerator just to grab some cottage cheese to eat, and my mom just screamed, no, 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 that's for the dogs. You can't have that. Well, My mom was under incredible stress. 4 kids. My parents were very young. Money was tight. And so her fear was she was on a budget as far as food. We had, 4 of us, all athletes. We ate like horses. She was worried the money was going to run out. Plus, my mom had a spending problem. And she'd use some of that grocery money to buy herself things. So because my mom was perfectly imperfect, she didn't have the emotional skills to communicate to me without shaming me. Because here's the simulation concept and definition I got in that moment was 1, Kenny, if you eat, you get in trouble. 2, if you eat, mom doesn't love you. And 3, in this house, we feed the dogs before the kids. So how that garbage showed up in my life was for decades, I starved myself. Literally. I remember I was playing pro hockey and I lived off super big gulps and maybe a ding dong or 2. That was it. People would say, let's go eat. I'm like, I hate eating. I'm bored with eating. I can't stand it. Do you see? I created a defense mechanism. I created a bag of garbage in my life to protect me from reliving the pain from the past and the message I got from my mother. All right? Now, this happened with my father too. In the beginning, when I was younger doing math, I was great at it. My dad was an engineer. We had a great connection over it. Well, once math slipped into, theory and trigonometry and more theory, I would just freak out. My brain would go numb, and I'll never forget my father. He'd show me all these shortcuts and everything, and I'd just look at him, and I'd be confused, and I'll never forget how he would roll his eyes and go, don't you just see it? It's right there. All my life, from that moment, the bag of garbage that's been in my life is, I'm stupid. Now, did my dad ever say I'm stupid? No. Did my mom ever say I can't eat? No. But that's how simple childhood trauma gets created. Simple, perfectly imperfect moments where our parents are overwhelmed with their own life responsibilities and they react in a way that's less than loving, less than kind, less than perfect. Because they're human, they're gonna make mistakes. But those moments send bags of garbage throughout our life, the rest of our life. And so now you're with a partner, and a partner rolls their eyes, and immediately you lose it. You freak out. You don't realize that you're reliving how your father rolled his eyes at you. Or you're overweight and you don't realize you're stuffing feelings because you were starved as a child. Whatever it may be, whatever is going on in your life, whatever personal struggle it is, use that process. What am I feeling? Identify the feeling. Where in my body do I feel it? What's my first memory? And all you're doing is reliving your worst day cycle and the pain from the past, even though you did have perfect parents. So there's much more to this process and much more to this discovery, but for those that 80% of the population, at least in my experience, who have believed they've always grown up in a perfect childhood, me telling you this, like, I know the feeling. It's an assault. It's like, no, I don't want to believe this. This is too big. This is too much. No, can't. And you want to argue. You want to defend. You want to minimize. You want to condone it. Well, it's not that big. Like, I know all of that that's going on in you. And that's okay. Take your time. Be soft. Be kind with yourself. Learning to accept this truth that you were hurt in childhood, that it's still in your life. It's still creating problems in your life. It is still depositing bags of garbage. So I urge you, be soft and kind as you contemplate this new reality and keep using that 3-step process. What am I feeling? Where in my body am I feeling it? What's my first memory of this feeling? So you can slowly tear down that wall of denial and get into reality that your parents are not bad people, that they didn't mean to hurt you, but they were human and they did. And so recognize that two things can be true at the same time. They did love you. They adored you, and you had some tremendous moments with them. Like me, I just got chills as soon as I said that, thinking of my mom. We'd go shopping together. It's why I dress the way I do. I love fashion, because my mom and I would just have such a great time. Or Christmas mornings. I don't know if you've seen the pictures and videos of my house. I put up 3 trees. Like, my house is a Santa Claus winter wonderland. Well, that's because of my father. My father was very distant, but not on Christmas. We'd go to bed every Christmas Eve. Not a decoration, not a present, nothing in the house. And the parents and grandparents would stay up all night, bring the tree and decorate it, decorate the whole house. And with 4 kids, we walked out in the morning and it was like a Norman Rockwell painting. Lights and colors and presents everywhere, and the train running through the brand new train set running through the presents, like it was pure magic. And it was the one day of the year my dad would come out of his bedroom unshaved, not dressed, in his pajamas, and after we opened everything up, he'd get on the ground and he'd play with us. It's the only time. And so my parents were perfect too, even though they were imperfect. And so were yours. Both can be true. You don't have to throw out those perfect moments. You can keep them. And you can let in the full measure of how wonderful your parents are. You can accept them fully, because this side you've never seen, never admitted to, never wanted to deal with. And so you've missed half the beauty of your parents' perfect humanity. That all of us have dark and light. All of us have perfect and imperfect. And all you've acknowledged is this. You've missed out on this whole other side of them. And so by admitting that both are true, you have a deeper, more loving and real connection with your parents. And that's my hope for you. This isn't about destroying parents. This is about actually loving your parents more and loving them in more truth and reality. So for those of you who still want to hold on to the idea that you weren't hurt in childhood, that your childhood is not the problem in your life, that it's not the source of your divorce and your weight issues and your drug issues and health issues and every other little bag of garbage that shows up in your life, I want you to consider, if you keep choosing to hold on to that lie and that self-deception, you're actually rejecting a part of your parents. Now put yourself in their shoes. What is it that every child needs? Total and complete acceptance by their parents. And so if you don't get into truth, that your parents did hurt you, that it wasn't intended, but because they're human, it's going to happen, you're rejecting half of them. Is that the kind of relationship you want with your parents? I don't think so. I think you want to love them fully. And so that's my hope for you, is that you use the 3-step process. What am I feeling? Where in my body do I feel it? And what's my first memory of it? And you get into reality that your parents were both perfect and imperfect. And you can accept all of them and therefore feel closer to them.